The Young and the Restless spoilers Monday, January 26th. Sally spills Jill's medical crisis to Billy. Mariah snatches Dom. In the world of The Young and the Restless, scandals, secrets, and boardroom coups are the usual currency. But this week, a different kind of power is emerging in Genoa City, one fueled not by stock portfolios or revenge plots, but by raw, transformative creativity. As the city grapples with personal crises and familial conflicts, an unexpected theme is rising to the surface: the desperate, vital need for innovation, and the human cost when it is stifled or stolen. The canvas of crisis, Sally Spectra's unorthodox masterstroke. This Monday, all eyes are on the explosive confrontation where Sally Spectra, Courtney Hope, reveals Jill Abbott's Jess Walton confidential medical crisis to Billy Abbott, Jason Thompson. On the surface, this is a classic soap betrayal, a potential career-ending breach of trust. But look deeper. Sally isn't acting out of malice. She is operating from a place of frantic, creative problem-solving. Sally, the fashion visionary, sees the world in patterns, textures, and unconventional solutions. Staring at Billy's anguish over his mother's secret and sensing the impending collapse of the Abbott family's fragile peace, she does not see a rulebook. She sees a tangled knot, and she takes the sharpest blade she has, the truth, to cut through it. Her action is the antithesis of corporate, by-the-book thinking. It is messy, dangerous, and profoundly creative. She is attempting to design a new outcome, to force a healing confrontation before it's too late, using the only materials at her disposal: words and audacity. This is creativity under pressure, a high-stakes innovation in human relationships. Sally's move will send shockwaves through Chancellor Winters, challenging the very notion of how corporate loyalty and personal ethics intersect. It asks, when tradition and secrecy fail, does a bold, creative disruption become the only ethical choice? The Stolen Muse, Mariah's desperate reclamation. Parallel to this, a darker, more visceral story of creative violation unfolds. Mariah Copeland, Cameron Grimes, makes the agonizing decision to snatch her daughter, Dominica, away from Tessa Porter, Kate Fairbanks, and Sharon Rosales. Sharon Case. Mariah is not just a mother in a custody battle. She is a storyteller, a former journalist, a voice that shapes narratives. For months, she has watched her most profound creation, her role as Dom's mother, be rewritten, edited, and co-authored by others. The trauma of her postpartum psychosis, the surrogacy, and the evolving family dynamics have left her feeling like a ghostwriter in her own life. Snatching Dom isn't merely an act of defiance. It is a tragic, desperate act of recreation. It is Mariah, pushed to the brink, attempting to seize the narrative pen back. She is trying to rewrite a story she feels has been stolen from her. This storyline powerfully illustrates the destructive side of stifled creativity. When the innate human need to shape one's own story is blocked, it can explode in catastrophic ways. The fallout promises to be a heartbreaking exploration of how love, law, and the creative claim to one's own life collide. Genoa City's creative crossroads. These two narratives exist within a larger tapestry where creativity is becoming Genoa City's most valuable and contested commodity. At Chancellor Winters, the merger itself was a creative act, blending legacies to build something new. Now, with Jill's health crisis looming and Billy's leadership tested by Sally's revelation, the company's future hinges on its next creative leap. Can it innovate beyond its founding families, or will it collapse under the weight of old secrets? At Newman Media, Adam Newman, Mark Grossman, is constantly pitching disruptive ideas, clashing with the established order personified by Victor, Eric Bredin, and Victoria, Amelia Heinel. He represents the relentless, often ruthless, drive for the new, a creativity untethered from tradition. His ongoing battles are a boardroom dramatization of the age-old conflict between the innovator and the institution. Even at Crimson Lights, a Genoa City institution built on comfort and routine, Sharon's recent trials have pushed her to creatively reinvent herself, her relationships, and her business. It's a quieter, more personal innovation, but no less critical. Spoiler speculation. The creative reckoning. The coming weeks promise a reckoning for these creative forces. Sally's gamble. Will her creative disruption lead to a breakthrough or a breakdown? Billy, no stranger to unconventional thinking himself, may be horrified initially, but he might also, in time, understand the brutal calculus of her choice. Their dynamic could evolve into a potent, if volatile, partnership where crisis breeds groundbreaking ideas. Mariah's tragedy. The consequences of taking Dom will be severe. This act may force all parties, Tessa, Sharon, Mariah, and the courts, to engage in the most difficult creative project of all, collaboratively redesigning their family structure with compassion and clear boundaries. Can they create a new model that honors everyone's love for Dom? The Abbott legacy. Jill's health scare, once public, could force the Abbotts to creatively reimagine their future. Jack, Peter Bergman, may need to innovate a new path for the family, while Billy grapples with leading a company through a personal hurricane. The next generation. Look for Kyle Abbott, Michael Mealer, and Audra Charles, Zuleika Silver, to position themselves as the creative solutions team in the chaos, spotting opportunity in the turmoil. Meanwhile, could someone like Daniel Romolodi, Michael Graziade, become an unlikely mediator, using his artistic temperament to see solutions others miss? The bottom line. This Monday, The Young and the Restless reminds us that creativity isn't confined to an artist's studio. It is the lifeblood of survival, the tool for rebuilding shattered trusts, and the dangerous weapon of the desperate. In Genoa City, where legacy is everything, the true battle is for the right to create the future. Sally Spectra and Mariah Copeland, in their radically different ways, are both fighting that battle this week. One with a devastating truth, the other with a devastating act of love. Both are proving that in a world of preordained roles and corporate scripts, the human instinct to create, to disrupt, and to reclaim one's own story is the most compelling drama of all.